Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik out of Hong Kong, and this is now the second turn, the 8th December 1941, of my play by email match against KilRoy. So also scenario 1, also one day turn set up, and it's again the Empire of Japan for me, and KilRoy is now in charge of the Allied. So more or less 99% repeat what I have ongoing with Jochen. There is really only very minor changes in the rules, I would say. So this is my third play by email, my real third play by email. So I benefit here from some experience I had with Jochen to optimize maybe my strategic operations, how many forces, what kind of forces, and yeah. So, and this is now the still invasion support of the previous turn. 8th December is still a lot of bombardment, amphibious assault, and anything like this. In the first turn, KilRoy was already able to move every task force on the map and have up to 30% cap in every base he wants, and move all Chinese units. And now he's of course completely free to whatever he wants to do. There's nothing holds him back. Here we already see some activity. This is one, I don't know, it's a destroyer. But my task force try to avoid, and it's a AVD. So it's a destroyer, but have a reconfiguration for floatplane tender. Because I have amphibious assault task force, they always trying to avoid the combat if possible. Doesn't matter how strong I am. There was just a mine hit. You can hear it, but it was not my ship, I think, hit a mine. This is now again the same, more or less, but this time, I don't know, maybe it's exactly the same. Yeah, so the Allies have crossing the T, so the same ship, exactly. But now I am forced to engage. Last time I was able to disengage. And I have a crossing T, means only forward firing guns I can use, so only in the front part of the ship, so my front destroyer, guns, light cruiser. And the ship comes very close already. Now we get distance. Again, mini torpedoes and no hit. To be honest, no hit at all. But it's only the Japanese are fighting. Now the Allies also fight. First Navy engagement we have in this war. Okay, I cannot create one hit, but I can disengage. Still no blood. And this is my amphibious assault in Iber. And KilRoy uses torpedo boats, or patrol boats, or how you want to call them. Very aggressive to interrupt my landings. And you can see, I don't know exactly if this is really now. My escort ships are more or less in the rear of the engagement, and my cargo ships are all in front. I'm really not sure if this is a purely how the game calculates this, or if this really have any impact if the ships are in the rear or in the front. But I only can say this is that we have already super close range and it's nighttime. We have collisions. Again, a collision. And now we have a torpedo hit on one of my DMS destroyer minesweepers. So, in this I think, because these are very small ships, I think 500, 600 ton ships, and a torpedo will always be an instant kill. And again, a collision. And the next collision. And again. Don't ask me how the game calculates collisions, but I have here one collision after the next. So at the end, 2 torpedo hits from KilRoy, and I lost 2 of my DMSs. So they are mainly destroyer minesweepers. Later they're getting good escort ships, and they are never strong. They don't have range. The biggest advantage of these ships or benefit is you can convert them early on to escort, and they have early on better anti-submarine and radar equipment. So to lose them is for the points it doesn't matter. And later in 43 they are maybe also outdated, but in 42 they can help for better anti-submarine warfare. Losing them here now is unlucky, but not Jochen. KilRoy used his torpedo boats very aggressive, and a little by surprise. Then you can see how they swarm out. So everything what can still is seagoing, we send out immediately out of Manila, of course. And again, a very aggressive move. This is my task force had the assault last turn, and one of my cargo ships get a counter battery fire, so it's still burning. And I have here really only, these are patrol boats, so you have here 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 patrol boats are escorting this task force. But I built this task force mainly with only very cheap ships. So because this is a super risky operation, I'm in range of Singapore and there is no air cover for this task force. So these are all, I think, 2-point, 3-point ships. And luckily, for some reason, don't ask me why, the 2 destroyers break contact. Or they losing contact, whatever happens. I'm able to break away, you can see. And then the destroyers enter the hex. So ships are sinking, of course. Manila is just only 1 day ago. Oh, again, the enemy task force. This is my. I just escaped the first two destroyers, but then here's one more. Now I have two burning cargo ships already. But both task forces try to break. I'm not sure. I thought it's a destroyer. No, it's a cruiser mine layer. A Dutch cruiser mine layer. I think this is only 2-point ship, so. Also don't want to fight here. Could be a hero if he sink 10 of my cool cargo ships. But no. So here we have a better protected task force, and again torpedo boats, but now it's daytime, so and long range, so this is normally more in favor of my ships. Torpedo boats, I think you must come very close to get this small torpedoes inside the enemy ship, or confusion like we had before. But here the biggest threat is my own ships. I have again a collision of my own ships. And the torpedoes boats are coming closer. But now the Allied forces break. So not sure why. They won't break at least. Small ships, too fast, too much distance. Now they're coming back. Still not able to really hit them. So again, disengage. Oh, the first hit. A 12 centimeter, so 4.5 inch shell, and all this torpedo boats, motor boats. I think they were the same more or less. They have all only one hit point normally. So one hit and one kill. And again a collision. At least we get rid of one of these motor boats. I was hoping that I damage or sink every enemy warship, and but now we have also a Mark 14 torpedo hit. So the first torpedo attack, and it's a Mark 14, and it's an explosion. Who can believe this? And my cargo ships, because the Mark 14 is really strong if it can explode and hit. So 8th December is so far in favor for KilRoy. To losing your ships is simply normal, I would still say. And so far it's only a cargo ship and 2 destroyer minesweepers, so they're not even second class destroyers, they're really only support destroyers. Now is my scouting, and we have a lot to scout because there are so many ships now around the Philippines. Georgetown simply because I want to keep the pressure. And Georgetown is a fighter base, so I was not sure if maybe KilRoy have his fighter up there. Some bombardment in China will increase turn by turn if I can bring more of my bombers from Manchukuo and Taiwan on the mainland. The original Chinese Air Forces, Japanese Chinese Air Force is very small. Much more is located in Guangdong and Taiwan. Also some stuff, and even in Japan you can get air wings out if you want. If it's really all necessary, I mean Sonias are really not very powerful, and you have enough scouting recon airplanes, so you don't really need scout bombers. In this game I will keep some air wings more in Harbin to train. Harbin is my training center for all of the Army Air Force in Nagasaki. Yeah, the main strategy in China so far is, yes, at the beginning of this, the second turn first, is normally attacking every unit in range or next to one of my own units, simply to prevent fast movements and create as much as possible damage in overall situation, not the focus. It's really only everywhere a little, simply only to see how KilRoy will react to this. If he play active with his Chinese Air Force, or if he hold it back, if he maybe try to move with his Chinese forces, or I try to defend every hex he can. Different tactics. You can see that I already also use my normally Navy Scout planes. They can drop some bombs. It's unlikely that you hit something. I also use my torpedo bombers. Simply, if I'm in normal range, that must be a normal range, I would not do this with extended range. So if there's something in this normal range, whatever airplane it is, if it can carry a bomb and if it's only 30 kilogram, I will use it. So I was hoping that maybe in Changsha some Russian Chinese cap fighters are. No, nothing. So no cap fighter, nothing over Georgetown, nothing over Changsha. All of north of Malaya looks undefended. I also use still some nades in China, but really I only try to limit the activity of nades. They are good for training, but nothing else. And I would really suggest strongly to, after maximum 2 weeks of game time, don't have any nade more in frontline duty. If you lose pilots with a nade, this will be waste. So still more these are British bombers attacking Kuantang and my invasion force, and still my Zeros are able to get rid of them. Especially if there's no escorts. kill count. I mean, the first day was already okay. I don't know exactly how was the kill ratio, but I think 20 losses for me and 70 for the allies. So roughly 3-to-1 kill ratio. Oh, one more. Okay. No one can escape. More ships are sinking for the allies. Oh, maybe we hit one of these evil motorboats. Yeah, better will. I try to sweep against the Philippines, but not so many fighters on duty I was hoping for. Only this second class fighters, P-35 and P-26. P-26 is a purely training airplane, like the same like a Nate. And the P-35 is normally not so bad, I would say. It is of course outdated already, maybe similar to Oscar 1B. It can do something, it's simply only already too old to have any future. But for this December it is still acceptable. If you have the right pilot and the numbers. I mean, here is the point, I have here 35 zeros, so I have a big advantage. And of course the zero is simply top of the art. It is faster, more maneuver. I have 20mm cannons, so there's really not much for the P-35. It's only that the pilots maybe survive this. Every airplane kind of escape is a little unlucky for me. I must really get fast, get rid of them. I will normally wipe out every fighter possible in the Philippines so that I can operate my bombers with light escort or no escort at all. Now, no escort is of course always dangerous because simply allies, well, an enemy or other player can always stand down his fighters maybe for 1 week and then after 1 week make a sudden reappearance and then it will be costly. So I would always keep some escorts on long range cap or escort. But if the first task is to get rid of the big quantity of the enemy fighters. I won't normally get rid of P-39s. No, P-43. P-39s are coming. But today is first the P-35. This is also something. And if I only get experience with this on my pilots. This was more or less an easy task, I would say. Now George Shannon bombardment. My nail bomber still find no Navy target, so secondary task is, I think in this case now, attack on the port, and there are still some ships inside, so KilRoy was not moving them out. Maybe they was loading still and he was trying to evacuate maybe supplies, fuel, whatever, but even troops. Most of the hits are 60 kilogram hits, so not really making damage, but they can create fire. And I'm not sure, it's, I think, a mixed attack. So attacking some buffaloes, damage on the ground, but only 2 damage. But also many ships are sunk or fire, so this was a successful strike on Georgia. Okay, the British tries again. This time, no only buffaloes? Okay. So this is maybe a sweep. Whatever it is, my Zeros will try to stand firm, and my Zeros are already coming from behind. Again, no kill. The attack is broken, but one maybe don't get the order, and now you can swim. Pilot really don't know how to avoid the attack. So many attack from behind and still alive. Very, very special. And then only damage. Not even kill. Must be the best British pilot in all of Malaya. So the Hudson's trying to bomb me again. I don't know what it was last time. Last time was, I think, wildebeest and swordfish. They're breaking. So mainly the buffaloes gets killed. Okay. Oof. Again. I kept my, I think my carriers more or less on cap only. I still don't want really, if I want to strike with my Navy bombers, I must give them normally escort, or they are also easy gets killed by even by a buffalo. Buffalo is not so bad, only the zero is better. So I kept my, I think, Navy bombers in training mode, so I can have all my zeros only for cap. Because the main object is here now defend this hex and make sure that my cargo ships will survive. That is everything. Not hunting our enemy ships. So it's more a defense operation. So many buffaloes. I think this is really a bad day for the buffaloes. They're coming one by one, one by one. Poor Hudsons. No chance. Again, no strike come even close to my ships. Now without any escorts. So they turning around. Some of them. And some will not return. Most of them escape, so I was not really able to get maximum damage here on KilRoy, his air force. But more now the torpedo bombers are coming. Not all. The wildebeest don't get it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that even a nade could. I mean, maybe with 2 light machine guns, I'm not sure if they really can kill it. Will it be so easily, but zero can. So still no successful strike on my landing craft. Ooh. 10 more. I don't know if KilRoy was hoping that simply the high numbers will lower my cap. And this is maybe true. But I need not really many zeros to defend these strikes. If I have only 3 or 4 zeros, it's enough. You can see 1 zero can kill easily 2 or 3 enemy airplanes before running out of ammunition. Something happened. Okay, 3 more. At least. Still not one bomb fall on my fleet. Okay. This was a very successful defense operation. It was not really that I... Oh, okay, now the torpedo boats coming again. Okay. Looks like they don't want. Good. Now I must get rid of every cargo, troop, whatever is on my ships. I must empty it and then return to my ports, repair the damage and prepare for the next phase. Now the land battle. First in China, I'm crossing here the river, and so this will create a shock attack. And this is open terrain, so there is no bonus for the defender. And then it's, I think the attack value is maybe 1-to-1. You can see 360 for me, 330 for the Chinese. But the Chinese, they still have not the equipment and not the training, you can see. And KilRoy maybe moves them around, so I hit them in the ops mode. Even if this was a good victory, I have here 90 disabled units, so and disabled cannot attack more. My units are a little burned out after this. So it is on paper a clear victory, but if I can see the numbers, then you realize, yeah, it's not really so clear victory, it's just a victory. IBA, and with IBA, hopefully with all the damaged airplanes here on the ground. Yeah. But the Filipinos won't run away, and it looks like they run away back to Clarkfield, so now they're in the best possible position. But here, 9 Warhawks destroyed on the ground. This was the damaged airplanes. KilRoy was not able to get out of the base in time. Good. And Butuan, so this is also clear the terrain. This is the reason why I go there. And this Filipino unit just give up. No morale. They don't want fight war. Now they can work for the Japanese New Order and yeah, I don't know. In the Philippines you have a lot of mangoes, coconut, some bananas, some pineapples, and a lot of rice. They also eat mainly rice. Now Kuantan, this normally must work. I put here I think nearly 1000 tech value. So yeah. Now the British are running. All of them. But I sent one tank and one recon unit directly behind them. So with a little luck I can attack next turn already, the next hex. Here this is all what is disabled, so 9 more airplanes destroyed on the ground. Kotabaru also works. Even some British units surrender immediately. 300 to 100. Yeah, the problem is here that there's I think it's not clear terrain and they have fort level 2, so can also backfire. But only one buffalo is destroyed on the ground. I don't know why only one, but one is good. Really, there's only a base force. This is not real fight. And the base force surrender, but this is nice. So sometimes they're jumping from one base to the next base, and then you must always hunt them down. But in this case, they give up. There's no real fighting squad. This is really only support. And now the same with the Dutch. Also successful. Then some Dutch unit already surrender. So here 200 to 30. Again, the fort is not enough. Only light losses for me, 1 to 1. So one unit escape, but I think with not much inside, so half a shell only to walk. Davao is maybe I have simply had not much. I really try this with the minimum. And because at the beginning of the war, the Philippines have no morale. If you give them some time, then they will recover from their low morale. So you don't attack value is one thing, but if you don't have morale, then all your equipment and training is useless. So, and I can also destroy 2 Catalinas on the ground. That is good bonus. At the end, this was a good turn in the war, air war for me, and a good land war. The sea battles was in favor for KilRoy, so I lost 2 support destroyers, and many of my cargo ships are damaged by coalition, and 1 Mark 14 hit. Nothing is perfect. Still, I would say it was overall a good start for the war. Nothing is perfect, cannot be perfect, so I would say this is acceptable. So my ships are moving, you can see already. Intelligence report let me know that this turn was even better than the turn before. So I had 3 losses, and last turn I had 13 losses. So I minimized my losses, but for KilRoy even more airplanes get destroyed. I think last turn was 70 and this turn 86. It's a combination of a kill in the air, and normally I think ops losses are here now. Normally I kill them on the ground, so I don't know. But maybe these are. I thought if you kill them on the ground, then they are killed on the ground. But maybe the game counts them for ops losses. I am not so sure. Because the Catalinas was just destroyed on the ground, yeah. Then they are ops losses, not ground losses. Okay. 19 wildebeest, so there are not more many torpedo bombers left for KilRoy in the Malaya. This Warhawks are all destroyed, are mainly destroyed on the ground, so ops losses. Some are in the air. Many buffaloes additionally get destroyed. And in the Philippines, P35, so the P35s I think in the Philippines are no more. And the rest is smaller stuff. And for me, it's a Marvis. This is always expensive to produce. But they're all ops losses, so nothing really gets killed in the air for me, huh? I have really only 3 ops losses. 1 0, 1 Marvis, and 1 Key 21. Wow. Fantastic low numbers for me. Ship sunk last turn. So this is, I think, all related to this unofficial sinking sound. So these are my 2 destroyer minesweepers with 800 tons. The start equipment now is not really good, but you can early on change them already. The handicap is always they are not frontline. They are no frontline units. You never get the speed out of them. So, but they are for cruise speed from 15 is good. For every cargo ship, I mean, this is enough. It's cruise speed of 15, not max speed of 15. The problem is really only the range, and the range will never change. So they are purely escorts. Now I lost 2 of them. And 1 good cargo ship with 13 points. So long range, a lot of hit points for a cargo ship. Later on can get more anti-aircraft stuff. But yeah, a torpedo hit, and if it's a Mark 14 and it will explode, then it's simply too much. In most of the cases. And for KilRoy, it's only 2 destroyers and some more submarines. They maybe survive the first moment, but the pumps are failing, then they're sinking. Good. And the army lost points now. They're starting to getting up. So KilRoy lost 220 points so far, and nothing for me. Okay. Because this is just the start, so of course this is the beginning of the war. I really only try to move in every hex so I try to get rid of this unit here to open here the railway to the north, because this is now here the center or source of the Japanese-Chinese area in China, but I don't have a link to the north, so I must get rid of this unit as soon as possible. Here is the same, this link is broken, and here is no railway connection. So getting this unit out, and these 2 units is the most important to have better logistics. But overall, I try to really move as soon as possible in every hex next to where the distance is short, where it is open terrain, clear terrain, so that I don't must bring in too much attack value and can still win the battle more or less without losing too much, in most of the cases. But no other strategy so far in China. This is really only the beginning. There's a lot of movement behind, but I cannot explain this. This is how you play the game and how you will set up. I more or less bring to Mukden and Haben first everything, and then I split it again from Haben. I bring normally everything to Mukden, and first I will only normally move out full divisions out of Manchukuo to help in China. So first class divisions, and not a brigade or regiment or anything like this. I'm not even sure if I have now here anything like this. Yeah, this is a division. But you can see that this division is still lacking units. 37 and a lot of supply. So I normally will if possible, I will go to strategic mode. Then I will say always divide, because I really believe it's faster to get this in this way, because then you can split always in a third. There's also a benefit, not always, but sometimes you can see like this. If I rebuild it, then the game say, okay, I have disabled unit. This I will be getting online, and then I have the TOE, the original TOE, and everything's fine. If I break this unit now, the main unit normally don't have a benefit of this, but the B and the C company, in this case, say, I'm missing something. So 108 is normally the goal, but I am here only at 107. So I get one infantry squad and one cavalry squad for free, because the A company have more. In total, the number are right, but how the game is breaking the units in three is sometimes that units like the B and the C company, I think it's always the B and the C company, have less units than the A unit, and then the game simply say, okay, I must add on some stuff. If you didn't have these reinforcements on and wait 3 days or something like this, you get here one unit more, and then you don't have more. The original is 324, then you have 326, 7, 8. I mean, it's only a nice benefit. If you can, if I can get, let's say 10 additional infantry squads inside these divisions, it will not change anything, but why not? Japan can produce army units, land units, more or less unlimited. Maybe not unlimited at one day, but unlimited in the war. I don't think that Japan will run out of small arms and manpower. But the point is that I will normally ship all of this at the end to Mukden. I also bring all my HQs to Mukden, and then I have a base with over 10 or normally over 20,000 supplies, a lot of supply and support units, so that my units will have maximum reinforcements and reinforcements and also rebuild rate. And then if it's finish, if the division is not more lacking anything, then I will whale it out. It's not the fastest way to get attack value to China, but in the long run I will have the maximum punching power. I sacrifice some speed, but maybe after 1 week, I need maybe 1 week to prepare everything, and then I will get always first class units. And if one of my divisions have 40-50 units disabled or broken, then I will normally always whale them back to Mukden, if the distance is not too far, and let them repair there. You can also do, maybe I will have a second repair center in Shanghai. So maybe Mukden and Shanghai are two repair centers where I can get my units combat ready faster. I can also wait in the open field and simply wait longer. It's depending on how far you are away. But if you are on the main railway or very close to it, I think it's better to walk back, change to strategic move mode, and then simply whale to Shanghai, Nanjing, Beijing, Mukden, something like this. Now in Burma we have no activity at all. Why? I don't want to go for Burma now. The landings was all successful. I was able to capture both of these bases. This base is it's damaged, but I have here 200 engineers. So normally I would say in 2 or latest in 3 days, all damage is repaired, And then here's the airfield of 4, so then I can bring in all my fighters and the bombers up to 200, let's say this. And then I have a nice air base. And then I can make a long range cap from Kota Boru to Kuantan. Then I don't need my carriers more. Or second option is I also take here the base. Similar damage, I think so. Even a little more. But I also have 200 engineers here. So I would say in latest 3 turns I don't need my carriers more here to help me to make sure that the landing 3 hexes here, Singora, Kota Boru and Kuantan, are for me the first landing operations. After 3 days I will make the amphibious assault on Mersing. Then this is the next forward base. But I want first make sure I have here Singora with the HQ, so I can use the torpedo bombers already. And this base can make cover for Kota Boru. Once Kota Boru is active, and normally I can bring already fighters here, let them rest overnight, and then maybe the next turn I can switch to active. And then I can make from Kota Boru long range cap to Kuantan. So always one base is covering the next base. Once the base is strong enough, it can make its own cap fighter. Yo, many submarines, but somehow my submarines was not active this turn. Many task forces here around the Philippines. This is this motor torpedo boats, destroyers, and PT patrol torpedo boats, I think, or something like this. And here are my these are my 3 cargo ships have a coalition, so this is really without impact of the enemy, not directly. Here's nothing. Yeah, this is this task force had also coalition, I think. Yeah, coalition. So some of my units have really again more damage, but not terrible. Many, only some. Still acceptable. Still totally normal. Cargo ships are really not what the Japanese must fear to lose. Not at the beginning. You invest and burn through some cargo ships to benefit from a quick, fast liberation of the Philippines, Malaya, or whatever. The only real nice or special activity is here that here's a one task force with unlimited striking power, but looks like it's a game say only light cruisers, but many. I don't think that the allies have so many here, but it can be maybe some light cruisers plus destroyers or plus heavy cruisers. Also keep in mind that the British was able to completely retreat with the force set, so the 2 battleships are still somewhere here. The Americans also have the 2 main carriers in Pacific plus all of the battleships, so nothing gets damaged. So there's a potential I must always have in my calculations that KilRoy can use this ship somewhere, and if I don't have detection, then I don't know where they are. Here's one destroyer surviving and messing up with my cargo ships. So I maybe bring these cargo ships. These are also lightly damaged, but I think this is also collision, or maybe no. This was a real hit. Not sure what had hit this ship. Good. So I have here attack value of 800 still, or already 800 on the beaches. No one can take this more away, and more will come soon. I must hunt this stuff down and try to not let them escape. My invasion forces already on the way from Truk to direction Rabul. More Rabul. This is all mainly Rabul. This is Ocean Island pickup base, and one base unit go to Markin. Yeah, Markin. But this is only very small detachment. This is only 10 assault value. Mainly only support stuff. You can see all this heavy machine guns, mortar. So his most support equipment, support fighting equipment like artillery or anti-aircraft stuff or anti-tank guns. But here is no detection. So I will take this bases here, mark in Tarawa, and then I maybe go south and pick up also Baker Island. If I find no resistance, then it's fine. Yeah. So I think this is all first. Here is nothing to say because I see nothing. Here I see a lot, but most of them they are tanker. See, I don't think there's a carrier. So still many task forces. I don't know what they are exactly. Okay. Thank you all. See you. Take care. Bye bye.